The rain hit the balcony railing so hard it sounded like anger. I stood in her apartment with my clothes soaking at the edges. Avery kept her back turned to me. Her fingers dug into the railing like she was holding herself together. "Say it again," I said. My voice cracked at the end. I hated that she heard it. She finally looked at me. Her eyes were glassy but steady. "You were just a chapter, Mason. My life is turning into something else." A gust of cold wind blew in from the balcony. It felt cleaner than the air in my chest. "A chapter," I repeated. "That is what I am to you." She nodded once. "Too quick. Too forced. You will understand someday." "I don't," I said. "And I don't think I ever will." Her phone buzzed on the table. She flinched like the sound hurt her. I stepped toward it, but she stepped in front of me. "Don't," she whispered. Her shoulders were trembling. "Please don't." That was when I felt it. Fear. Not of me. Of something else. Of someone else. "Avery, who is calling you?" "It doesn't matter." "It obviously does." She looked away. "You need to go." "Please." Her voice broke on the please. I waited for her to take it back. To reach for me. To explain what she was so scared of. She didn't. She kept staring at the floor as if it could swallow her whole. "Fine," I said. "I'm done begging for clarity." I walked past her. The rain muffled the sound of my footsteps. When I reached the door, her phone buzzed again. The screen lit up. A name I had never seen. A man's name. I stopped. My chest burned. But I forced myself to keep walking. The moment I stepped into the hallway, I heard it. A small sound. A broken, strangled sob. She was trying to hold it in, but it slipped through anyway. I shut my eyes. For a second I almost went back. But pride is poison. And I swallowed it whole. I walked out of her building. The rain washed nothing off me. By the time I got home, I told myself it was over. Whatever we had, whatever we tried to build, she had buried it tonight. I would not dig it back up. Morning came too fast. My head hurt from lack of sleep. I had one goal today. Start clean. First day as creative director at a new firm. New team. New life. No Avery. I repeated that as I took the elevator up. My reflection in the metal doors looked like a man pretending he was fine. The elevator chimed. I stepped out. The floor smelled like fresh paint and expensive coffee. People moved around with bright smiles. I walked into my assigned office. My hand was still on the doorknob when I froze. She was inside. Avery stood near my desk, holding a stack of folders like she belonged there. Her hair was tied up. Her eyes widened the second she saw me. She looked almost as shocked as I felt. "Mason," she whispered. My heartbeat slammed into my ribs. Why was she here? Why today? Why in my new life? I took one step forward. "What are you doing in my office?" The meeting room door clicked shut behind me. Avery was already inside. Her posture was stiff, like she had been waiting and dreading the moment at the same time. The soft citrus scent of her perfume filled the small space and wrapped around me before she even turned. "I am the new PR manager," she said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes did not hold mine. "Harper hired me last night." "Overnight," I repeated. Convenient timing. She set her folder down. "Mason, we have to be professional." "We were never unprofessional," I said. "Then keep it that way," she whispered. Harper entered with her usual clipped footsteps. She glanced between us like she could read the tension in the air. "You two will co-lead the Reynolds campaign," she said. "Daily coordination, shared deadlines. No drama." Avery nodded quickly. Too quickly. I forced a smile. Of course. Harper left us with stacks of documents. The silence pressed in as we sat beside each other at the table. Every time our hands reached for the same page, our fingers brushed. Just a touch, but Avery tensed like she had been burned. "Can you pass that one?" she said. Her voice held a tremor she tried to hide. I slid the folder toward her. Our fingers touched again. Her breath caught. She did not look up. "What are you scared of?" I asked quietly. "Stop," she said. "Please. This is work. This is you avoiding me." She closed her eyes for a second, then inhaled sharply. "We keep this strictly work." Her words hit harder than she intended. I leaned back in my chair, watching her flip through documents she clearly was not reading. When the meeting ended, she darted out first. I followed a few steps behind, my chest tight. We reached the stairwell. She moved too fast, her heel catching the top step. "Avery!" I grabbed her waist before she fell. Her hands landed on my chest. Her eyes lifted to mine, wide and shaken. Her body pressed against me, warm and familiar. For a second she did not pull away. Her breath mingled with mine. The stairwell felt too quiet, too intimate. "Mason," she whispered. Not a warning. Something softer. My hand tightened around her waist. "Tell me why you are acting like this." She blinked hard and pulled back. Her hand slipped from my chest like she was afraid of what staying there meant. "This cannot happen," she said. "We agreed." "You agreed," I said. "I never did." She straightened her blouse, refusing to look at me. "Stop complicating this." I almost said her name again, but she rushed down the stairs, leaving me standing on the landing with her warmth fading from my hands. Later that afternoon, while heading back to the office, I heard her voice echo from around the corner. Soft. Urgent. Hidden. "No," I said. "No," she whispered. "He cannot know what happened that night." My heartbeat slammed into my ribs. That night. What night? I leaned closer. Her voice dropped lower, sharp with fear I had never heard from her. "If he finds out, everything will fall apart." The hallway felt colder. My breath thinned. Who was she talking about? And what was she hiding from me? The chapter follows. The office was quiet enough to hear my heartbeat. It was already past 10. The city lights glowed through the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting long shadows across Avery's desk. She sat across from me, typing fast, her shoulders tense. Her phone buzzed. She jumped. I watched her hand hover over the screen, then retreat like touching it would burn her. "Avery," I said. "Who keeps calling you?" "No one important." Her voice was too soft, too quick. "Then why do you look scared every time it rings?" She shut her laptop with a sharp click. "Can we lock the door?" "The door?" "Please," she said. "Just in case." Her fear settled in my chest. I got up and turned the lock. The sound echoed in the empty hallway. "Tell me what is going on," I said. "Nothing you need to worry about." That is becoming your favorite line. She looked up at me. Her eyes were glossy in the city glow. "Mason." "Not tonight." Thunder cracked outside, shaking the windows. Avery flinched hard and grabbed my arm without thinking. Her hand wrapped around me like it remembered the shape of me. For a moment she did not let go. "Avery," I whispered. She realized what she was doing and pulled back, her breath unsteady. "Sorry." "You do not have to apologize for that." "I do," she said. "Everything is already too messy." Another crack of thunder rattled the building. She gasped and moved closer again before stopping herself. "This storm is really loud," she said, trying to sound casual. She failed. I stepped closer. Not touching her. just close enough to feel her warmth. You are shaking. I am fine. You are not. She swallowed. Her eyes flicked toward the door like she expected something to break through it. Mason, can we just finish the report? We can, but I need to know what you are running from. She went still. So still I could hear her breath catch. I am not running, she said, but her voice cracked halfway through. A flash of lightning lit the entire room. When it faded, I saw something in the glass wall behind her. A silhouette. A man. Standing just beyond the hallway lights. Avery, I said quietly. Do not turn around. She froze. What do you see? A man is watching you. Her lips parted in terror. She turned anyway. The silhouette stepped forward just enough for the light to catch his face. Sharp jaw. Cold eyes. Expression unreadable. Her knees nearly buckled. No. No, not here. You know him, I said. She backed into me without realizing it. My hand steadied her waist. Mason, she whispered. He cannot see me with you. Why is he here? Her breathing hitched. Her fingers curled into my shirt as if holding on kept her alive. If he finds me here, she said, voice trembling, everything will fall apart. The man outside did not move. And neither did she. The ballroom lights were warm and golden, the kind that made everyone look richer and happier than they really were. I had barely stepped inside when Avery slipped her hand around my arm. Her grip tightened like she was anchoring herself. Stay close, she whispered. You told me to pretend nothing is wrong, I said. Just for tonight, she said. Please. Her red dress brushed against my suit every time she moved. I could feel her tension in every breath she took. People were already staring. Not because we looked good together, though we did, but because she was holding me like she needed me. Is he here? I asked. She nodded once. Before I could ask where, I heard a voice behind us. Avery. She flinched. I turned. Cole stood a few feet away. Tall. Sharp. Calm in a way that felt wrong. His eyes scanned her like he owned the right. She stepped closer to me. Her hand tightened around my arm. He smiled at me. I am Cole. A close friend of hers. Avery swallowed. Cole, this is Mason. We work together. I stepped forward slightly, putting myself between them. Nice to meet you. His smile did not reach his eyes. Funny. She never mentioned you. She does not mention you either, I said. Avery whispered, Mason, but her voice was shaking. Cole leaned a little too close. You look beautiful tonight, Avery. Just like before. Her shoulders tensed under my hand. I felt her breath stutter. You should leave her alone, I said. Cole tilted his head. I am not talking to you. Then start, I said. Avery tugged my arm, her whisper fragile. Mason, please. Not here. Cole's eyes flicked to her hand on me. Something dark passed through his expression. You are different now? Bolder. I am busy, she said, forcing a smile. Excuse me. She pulled me away fast. Her steps wobbled. I held her steady. Are you all right? I asked. No, she said. But thank you for stepping in. He scares you. He destroys everything he touches. Her voice cracked so quietly I almost missed it. The rest of the event blurred. Avery stayed close, so close her shoulder brushed mine every time she exhaled. People whispered. Harper watched us from across the room with narrowed eyes, like she could see every truth we were hiding. When the event finally ended, we stepped into the cool night air. Avery let out a shaky breath. I am sorry, she said. For dragging you into this. For all of it. You do not have to apologize. You just have to tell me what is going on. She looked away. I will. Soon. The word soon felt like a lie, but I did not push her. Not when she looked that scared. She got into her ride and disappeared into the streetlights. I turned toward the office building to grab my forgotten jacket. The elevator doors opened to an empty hallway. Only one light was on. Harper's office. Her door was slightly cracked. She called out before I even knocked. Mason, come in. I stepped inside. She sat behind her desk, face serious, eyes sharper than usual. I saw you with Avery tonight, she said. And I need to tell you something. My stomach dropped. About what? She folded her hand slowly. About Avery. Harper slammed a folder on the desk the moment I stepped into her office. I felt the air tighten. Her blinds were half closed, and the only light came from the monitor behind her. She pointed at the red tag attached to the file. Mason, look at this. I opened it. Avery's name sat on top. My stomach dropped. Why is her profile flagged? That is what I want to tell you, Harper said. Her hiring was pushed through. Someone outside the company made the call. I felt a pulse in my neck. Who did it? Harper hesitated. She paced once, then leaned in. Before I say anything, I need you to answer something. How close are you to Avery? Her eyes searched my face. I swallowed. Close enough to care when something feels wrong. Harper nodded like she already knew. Then you need to hear this. Avery was not supposed to be here. Someone forced the process. Someone powerful. I leaned forward. Harper, tell me the name. Before she answered, the building alarms blared. The lights flickered red. A cold vibration ran through the floor. Harper's voice tightened. Someone is in the building. Footsteps pounded in the hallway. Slow. Heavy. Deliberate. The sound crawled under my skin. Harper grabbed my wrist. Conference room. Now. We slipped inside and shut the door. The glass walls reflected the emergency lights. Every few seconds the silhouette of a man moved down the hall. I could hear each step. My breath caught. Harper whispered, security said everyone left hours ago. My phone buzzed. Avery and Mason, please do not stay there. He is coming for me. My throat clenched. I typed fast. Who is he? No answer. Harper stared at the text as the footsteps halted right outside our hallway. Mason, someone is after her, she said. This is why I called you. The footsteps moved again. The shadow faded toward the stairwell. When the alarm shut off, Harper exhaled like she had been holding air for years. She gripped my arm. Her voice was low. Go. If Avery texted you, she trusts you. She needs you. I ran. The night air hit my face the second I left the building. My chest burned as I drove. Every stoplight felt like a trap. Avery's silence was louder than the alarms. Her street was dim and quiet. Only the yellow glow of a broken lamp lit her door. I jumped out of the car. Avery. My voice echoed, too sharp, too desperate. I reached her apartment. Her door was open. A thin slice of darkness stared back at me. The hallway light flickered over abandoned shoes, her jacket on the floor, her phone face down beside the table. Avery. My voice cracked. No answer. I stepped inside. The place felt wrong. Like the air had been ripped apart. A chair was knocked over. The curtains were half torn. I felt the silence squeeze my lungs. Someone had been here. And Avery was gone. My phone buzzed again. Not from her. Harper. Her message read, Mason, come back to the office. I found something else in the file. I stared at the empty apartment as my heartbeat hammered in my ears. Avery was missing. Someone had taken her. And her file hid answers I was not supposed to see. The door behind me creaked. I turned, expecting Avery. But the doorway was empty. Rain hit my face as I ran across the empty street. Harper had traced Avery's last phone signal to a nearby hotel. My heart pounded like it wanted to break free. I pushed through the rotating doors and stopped. Avery sat in the corner of the lobby, drenched, shaking, holding her knees like she was trying to keep herself from falling apart. Avery! Her head snapped up. The moment she saw me, her lips trembled. She stood, then nearly collapsed into my arms. "I am sorry," she whispered, her voice thin and broken. I wrapped my jacket around her shoulders. Her skin was ice cold. "Tell me what happened. Please." She pressed her forehead against my chest, her breath warm and uneven. "I did not disappear. I ran. I had to." "From who?" Avery swallowed hard. "From Cole." My fists tightened. "He came to your apartment." She nodded, shaking. "He always finds me. He does not let go. He tried to control everything. Who I worked with. What I wore. What I posted. Who I talked to. He even tried to choose my projects for me." Her voice cracked. The fluorescent lobby lights made her tears shine like small glass beads. I lifted her chin. "You should have told me. I wanted to." She stepped back, hugging herself. "But the night I pushed you away, he showed up. He threatened me. He said if I kept seeing you, he would make you disappear from the company. Or worse." My breath froze. "That is why you shut me out." She nodded quickly. "I thought if I broke your heart, he would leave you alone." "Avery, look at me." She did, eyes red, terrified, hopeful at the same time. "You never had to protect me from you." Her knees buckled again, and I caught her. She held my shirt so tightly I felt her fingers tremble against my chest. "I am so tired," she whispered. "I am tired of running. I am tired of pretending I am fine. I thought he would stop. I thought he would forget me. But he keeps coming back." I pulled her closer. Her breath hit the hollow of my neck. The warmth of her body melted the cold rain between us. "You are not alone," I said. "Not anymore." My hand moved to the back of her head, slow and gentle. She pressed herself against me, crying into my chest like she had finally found a place she could fall apart. Old feelings surged back. Not soft ones. Deep ones. Ones that hurt and healed at the same time. Avery's fingers curled into my shirt. "I missed you," she whispered. "I missed you so much it hurt." I closed my eyes for a second. "Then let me stay. Let me help you." She looked up at me. Her lashes were wet. Her lips were parted, as if she wanted to say something but was afraid the words would break her again. My phone buzzed. At first, I ignored it. She touched my wrist. "Check it. Please." I pulled the phone out and froze. "Cole." I answered without thinking. His voice slid through the speaker like a blade. "If you want her to stay alive, bring her to me." Avery's hand slipped from my arm. My chest went cold. And the call ended. The parking garage smelled like oil and cold metal. My footsteps echoed as I walked toward the man leaning against a black car. "Cole." He smiled when he saw me. Not a friendly smile. A smile that said he already thought he had won. "Where is Avery?" My voice shook with anger I could barely control. He brushed imaginary dust off his sleeve. "Relax, Mason. She is safe. For now. What do you want?" "What I already own." My stomach twisted. "You do not own her." He pulled out a folded paper and held it up. A contract. Signed by Avery. She agreed to let me manage her brand and public image for 5 years. If she breaks it, she pays me everything she earns plus damages. I stepped forward. She signed that because you pressured her. You can try proving that. He tucked the paper back into his jacket. Courts love documents. They do not care about hurt feelings. I clenched my jaw so hard I felt pain shoot up my neck. Let her go. He leaned in, his voice low and cold. If she does not return to me, she loses everything she has built. And her reputation. I can make calls. One headline is all it takes. My fists curled, hot and useless. Why her? Because she was mine first. He smirked as he stepped back. Enjoy your hero moment while it lasts. He walked away, his footsteps slow, confident, cruel. I didn't move until he disappeared behind a concrete pillar. When I finally turned, Avery was standing near the ramp, arms wrapped around herself. She had heard everything. Her voice broke. Mason, I trusted him. I thought he believed in me. I was stupid. You were hopeful, I said softly. That is not stupid. She shook her head, tears already falling. I ruined my life. I ruined yours too. I walked to her, gently lifting her chin. You did not ruin anything. He manipulated you. That is on him. Not on you. Her breath hitched. I thought I was strong enough to leave him. But he keeps finding ways to trap me. Then I will find a way to break him, I said. I am not letting him win. Her hand trembled as she reached for mine. I held it, feeling her cold fingers curl around my palm like she needed something solid to cling to. We left the garage and went to my apartment. It was quiet and warm. The kind of safe space she had not had in a long time. I gave her a blanket. She insisted we share it. We ended up on the couch, close enough to feel each breath. She rested her head on my shoulder. Mason. Yeah. I never wanted to lose you. I felt her words slide under my ribs and settle in a place I had tried to protect. You did not lose me, I said. You never could. She closed her eyes, her body relaxing against me. For the first time in months, it felt like the world had paused long enough for us to breathe. My phone rang. Harper. I answered. What is wrong? Her voice was urgent. Mason, I found something. Something that could destroy Cole. Avery lifted her head, eyes wide. And everything inside me sharpened. Harper's office lights flickered as I stepped inside. She was pacing, a thick folder in her hands. My heartbeat picked up. Something felt wrong. What did you find? My voice sounded sharper than I intended. Harper stopped and looked at me with a mix of guilt and determination. Before I show you, you need to hear the full truth. I felt my stomach tighten. Go on. She opened the folder. A picture of Cole stared back at me. Cold. Familiar. Dangerous. Cole did not stumble into Avery's life, Harper said. She once interned for his company. She found financial discrepancies. Money laundering. Fraud. He threatened her to keep her quiet. My breath caught. She never told me that. She could not, Harper said. She was terrified. I gripped the chair behind me to steady myself. How do you know all this? Harper hesitated, then answered in a low voice. Because I brought her here. I recruited her on purpose. My chest tightened. What do you mean? I needed Cole to make a move so we could expose him. The board wanted proof. Avery was the bait. You were supposed to help me keep her close and safe. I froze. Help her. Protect her. Without knowing I was part of a plan. You used me, I said quietly. You were the only one she trusted, Harper replied. I thought that would make it easier. A soft gasp came from the doorway. Avery. She stood there, eyes wide, face pale. I had no idea how long she had been listening. Avery, I whispered. She shook her head slowly. So I was never here because of my skills. I was here because I was useful. That is not true, I said, taking a step toward her. She backed away. I knew. You knew something was off. But you stayed. You let me believe this place was safe. I did not know Harper planned this, I said. I swear I did not know. Her voice broke. But you still kept secrets from me. You pretended everything was normal while I was drowning. Harper tried to speak. Avery, listen. No, Avery said, her voice trembling. I am done listening. She spun around and walked out of the office. I ran after her. Rain hammered the streets as she pushed through the glass doors and stepped into the storm. Avery, wait. She kept walking. Cars hissed past on wet pavement. Horns blared. People shouted. I tried to catch up, but she moved faster, weaving between traffic like she was trying to disappear. Avery, I shouted, my voice cracking. Please. For a second, she turned. Her eyes were full of heartbreak. And something worse. Disappointment. A bus passed between us. When it cleared, she was gone. I searched every corner. Every sidewalk. Every alley near the building. Nothing. My phone vibrated. A message from Avery. My hand shook as I opened it. Please do not look for me anymore. The rain blurred the screen, but the words stayed sharp. And they cut straight through me. The first thing I heard was her voice. Soft. Raw. Fragile in a way that made my chest tighten. I pushed open the cafe door, the warm air brushing against my face as Avery stood under a single spotlight, singing like she was trying to stitch herself back together. Her eyes were closed. Her hands trembled around the microphone. Every note felt like a confession. Weeks had passed. Weeks without her. Weeks where I kept checking every street, every park, every place we once talked about visiting. And here she was, alone on a tiny stage, singing to a room that barely noticed her. But I noticed. I always noticed. When the song ended, she bowed quickly and hurried off stage. I stepped outside before she could see me inside. The night was cold, and the neon cafe sign flickered above my head. The door opened. Avery came out, hugging her bag to her chest. She spotted me instantly and went still. Mason. Her voice cracked. I never stopped looking, I said. She shook her head and tried to walk past me. You shouldn't be here. I moved gently, blocking her path but keeping my hands at my sides. Avery, talk to me. There is nothing left to say, she whispered. You deserve someone who is not constantly running. I reached out and took her hand, slow enough that she could pull away. She did not. Avery, I said softly, losing you broke me. Not because you left. Because you thought you had to. Her eyes filled with tears. I made everything worse. Your job. Your safety. Your life. I thought I was protecting you. You were protecting yourself, I said. And that is okay. But I am here because I want the whole story. Yours. Mine. Ours. Even the messy parts. Her breath hitched. I didn't want to drag you down with me. You are not dragging me down, I whispered. You are the reason I am still standing. Her hand tightened around mine. Slowly, carefully, she stepped closer. The streetlight cast a warm glow on her tear-streaked cheeks. She leaned into me, her forehead pressing against my chest. I missed you, she said, voice shaking. I wrapped my arms around her, feeling her melt into the hug. Her tears soaked into my jacket, warm and desperate. I closed my eyes, breathing in the soft scent of her hair, letting the city noise fade. I'm sorry, she whispered. For running. For hurting you. For thinking I wasn't enough. You are enough, I said. You always were. Her fingers curled into my shirt. For the first time in weeks, my heart felt steady. She pulled back slightly, looking up at me. What now? We start again, I said. Together. No secrets this time. Her lips parted like she wanted to say more. And that was when the air changed. Her eyes darted past my shoulder. Her body stiffened. I turned. Across the street, under the dim light of a parking sign, Cole stood with his hands in his pockets. Watching us. A slow smile spread across his face. And it wasn't friendly. Avery gripped my arm, her voice a fragile whisper. Mason. He found me again. Cole's face was pale under the conference hall lights. His hand shook slightly, the arrogance gone, replaced by panic. I stepped forward, holding the folder Harper had given me. Every piece of evidence, every fraudulent transaction, every document showing the web he had spun. This ends now, Cole, I said, my voice steady. Your control stops here. He laughed, sharp and brittle. You think you can ruin me? I don't think. I know. I slammed the folder onto the table. All of this is now in the hands of the authorities. Fraud, embezzlement, threats. You're finished. The crowd murmured. Avery stood a few feet behind me, clutching her bag tightly. Her shoulders were tense, her eyes wide with disbelief. You can't, Cole stammered. I built this. I made her. She's not yours, Avery said suddenly. Her voice cut through the room like a blade. Everyone turned. Cole froze. I am not your property. You do not control my life anymore. Her hand shook, but she stood straighter than I had ever seen her. Her red dress caught the light, fiery and alive. I felt my chest tighten. That was my Avery. Strong, brave, finally unafraid. The front door swung open. Police officers entered, badges glinting. Cole's smug smile dissolved into horror. This is over, I said. He was handcuffed quickly. He glared at Avery as the officers led him out. Her knees buckled slightly, and I caught her just in time. Her forehead pressed against my shoulder. I thought I'd lost you forever, she whispered, trembling. You didn't lose me, I said. I brushed the wet strands of hair from her face and wiped the tears running down her cheeks. You're not a chapter, Avery. You're my entire book. She looked up at me, eyes glossy, lips trembling. I'm sorry I made you feel like a chapter. You didn't, I said firmly. You were always the story. Every page, every word, every line. And now, we get to write the rest together. Her hand slid into mine. Warm, small, perfect. I held it tightly as we stepped out of the hall. The sky was turning gold. The first hints of sunrise painted the city in soft orange and pink. We walked slowly, side by side, letting the quiet settle around us. No fear. No secrets. No running. Just us. She leaned her forehead against mine. Her voice was soft, almost shy. So, what do we write next? I smiled, pressing my lips to her temple. Whatever we want. And we write it together. The sun rose higher, spilling light across the streets. For the first time in a long time, I felt like the world belonged to us. Not as pieces, not as chapters, but as a story fully, completely ours. And this time, I would never let it be anything less.